she also had the first foul of tonight because nobody else was taking it. Nobody else was taking it that seriously, but Plum. Okay.
No, them challenging had.
Oh my gosh, that had me in tears. I was like, this game's supposed to be over, and y'all out here challenging. Outside of the game, what do you think is the best aspect of All-Star Weekend as a player?
Ooh, I think it's just like the amount of interactions with the fans.
Yeah.
You know, we're never really this close in contact with them that frequently, so I think so many meet and greets.
Indianapolis sets the scene for what is the end of WNBA All-Star Weekend. Team Collier brought home the victory, 151 over Team Clark, 131. And boy, what was a very eventful evening.
What's your question for Caitlin? What's the hardest part about playing basketball? It seems like a simple ask, but when you're Caitlin Clark, even that straightforward query takes on epic proportions. How do you handle the everyday rigors of a game you excel at more than almost anyone else on the planet? How do you stay grounded when every corner you turn in Indianapolis feels like a stakeout for your next appearance?
And welcome to the wrap-up presented by AT&T. I'm almost out of a voice because this has been a long, fun, exciting, and unpredictable weekend. And to put a bow on everything, Team Collier got the victory, but what is the vibe right now post-game for you, Ari?
Right now it feels kind of light, right? Everybody's in a good mood. There's so many people here still lingering, seeing their favorite players.
Yes.
It's just a fun time. That's the word to sum up the whole weekend. Just fun. And
even on crutches or wrapped in ice, she moved through crowds like a magnet through metal shavings, pulling fans from blocks away to witness her sideline swag. There's something almost absurd about a player who isn't playing, dominating headlines, yet here we are living it. You could almost forget there was a basketball game at all because Caitlin's presence became the game.
And it's funny because Fee did her big one today. Now, Team Collier, we said, maybe Team Collier won't be as focused, but they won in a dominant way. I don't think they trailed at all. Maybe.
Yeah, they were out of the gates. They were humming from the very beginning. And in fact, Fee really set a captain and MVP record, the most points in an all-star game, 36 points.
From the moment her entourage, 10 burly guards decked in black, stepped off the charter jet, the city of Indianapolis transformed. Street vendors swapped jerseys for posters reading simply, "I was here for Caitlin." Local DJs remixed her name into halftime anthems. Even the Bronco buses paused in traffic so riders could glimpse the phenomenon. It wasn't about points per minute or stat lines. It was about a cultural current that caught everyone off guard and refused to let go.
Multiple things, the WNBA championship, unrivaled, but I had no idea she would take that into the All-Star game. She said
the energy didn't just hum, it roared. Reporters raced to capture fans fainting in the aisles, little girls clutching homemade signs, grandparents recording every second on flip phones borrowed from their garage. Cameras zoomed in on delighted expressions, on open-mouthed awe when Caitlin paused at a barricade to sign an autograph. That night, the light in the arena wasn't from the overhead fixtures. It was from the flashbulbs of thousands of smartphones, each one a tribute to a player who didn't even play.
The offseason was unrivaled. Now she's the MVP of the All-Star game. Fee is setting up for what could be an MVP season. You think that's coming up next?
Absolutely, and she maximizes her time. 81% from the field is no mistake.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She's so efficient. Like, she gets it done, but she gets it done efficiently.
Well, and you were asking about those four-pointers before we started, and she was 4 for 5 from 4. Did you see that coming? Did you think she was going to be a player?
You couldn't have told me that Fee was going.
Behind the spectacle, though, was a story of savvy and authenticity. Caitlin Clark didn't orchestrate flash mobs. She showed up everywhere. She coached youth teams at Sunrise, handing out trophies with the same genuine grin she wears under intense media scrutiny. She high-fived toddlers at fan festivals, stayed late for selfies until security gently nudged her into the back entrance, then snuck back out to surprise another circle of waiting admirers. In sweats and sneakers, she became both superstar and neighbor next door.
Going to be the one just pulling up and being so accurate from the 4-point line. But you know, hey, win an all-star. Do as all-stars do, and she did as all-stars did.
She really did. I mean, and the bigs kind of, quite honestly, a lot of the forwards and centers, they were shooting a lot of the forwards.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
If you were in the all-star game, wouldn't you shoot a 4-point?
I was worried about them not getting the opportunities because of the guards, but they were doing it.
They said they wanted to take the ball down the court, okay?
All right, so the other historic performance, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Skylar Diggins notched the first triple-double in
Yet, not everything was glitter and gold. Critics scoffed. She's not even playing. They said, what kind of all-star sells out a stadium with 0 minutes? The skeptics ranted on podcasts about hollow hype and league pandering, but for every cynic, there were 10 more first-time WNBA attendees who lit up as soon as Caitlin's name echoed through the PA. They bought jerseys, popcorn, tickets to next year's game, because they felt part of something bigger. They weren't just fans of basketball. They were witnesses to a movement.
WNBA All-Star history. I thought she would get the MVP. This is kind of close. She's right down the street from home in South Bend, Indiana girl. What about her performance tonight?
Though she didn't get the MVP, she still set a record. That's so Skylar coded.
Yes.
Oh wait, I think just Courtney, say hi to the fans.
What up, W's in the chat?
Stud Bud's been keeping it live all week.
Stud Buds have been, y'all been keeping us entertained, man. It's been a lot of fun. Is this how many hours are left in the run?
It's gotta be done.
We leave in the morning.
Her role as honorary assistant coach under Sandy Brondello only amplified the intrigue. Rather than sulk in the stands, Caitlin donned a whistle and clipboard, barking encouragement, drawing up imaginary plays on spare napkins, and leading motivational chants between timeouts. She prowled the sidelines like a veteran, clapping emphatically, pacing with purpose, reminding everyone that leadership isn't measured in playing time. The head coach even admitted she'd hand over the reins to Caitlin any day. Proof that respect extends beyond talent to unshakable confidence.
Yeah. So we on an all-night flight tonight. We not going to sleep. We got to go out with a bang. Indy done showed us so much love.
Boy.
Come on now.
So y'all are gonna, till tomorrow? They're gonna keep this going until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. When do y'all play again?
Tuesday.
What Cheryl have to say about y'all going into tomorrow?
We just going to get the IV.
Oh, Lord.
Look, but y'all were talking to Commissioner Engelbert after the Knuck If You Buck last night. What was she saying to y'all over there?
Oh, she was just saying, man, we've been turning the people.
This sideline strategy culminated in a live TV appearance smack in the heart of the city, where thousands pressed against barricades just to hear her speak. When the host quipped, imagine if she'd scored 20 points in a minute, the crowd erupted, not for a hypothetical stat dump, but for a celebration of possibility. The point wasn't about scoring, it was about presence. Caitlin Clark's everyday charisma outscored any buzzer beater.
Man, we've been turning the people up, and she love what we doing.
How are you feeling, Letitia?
I'm feeling great.
Okay.
Feeling great.
'Cause
A lot of vibes here.
We saw a couple nights when it was hard.
Don Williams in the building.
We got Pop in the building.
First name Courtney, last name Daddy.
Oh,
What kind of treatment have you been getting on the Stud Bud show? How they been treating you?
God, the next level love.
Really?
Where I go, I think I'm a basketball player. I'm
'Cause
just a daddy.
they-
I keep forgetting I'm a dad. I try to stay in my place.
Stay in your place a little bit.
The funniest part? She never pandered. No canned lines, no overproduced segments, just Caitlin being Caitlin. She lamented missing the game, but celebrated being among her people. She quipped about the absurd number of security guards shadowing her, and then slipped behind them to hug a fan's prosthetic leg. Not because it was PR, but because that fan had confided it helped her chase her own hoop streams. It was these unfiltered moments that seeped into every newsfeed, turning casual scrollers into diehard believers.
Did you see this coming from her? She always had. She's like now an entertainer on top of being a basketball player. You always seen that in her?
I always knew it.
She get it from
I
her.
always knew it. Well, translate for me.
You brought her up like that?
Yeah.
He said, "Go on and say it, all right."
Honestly, now I'm following her.
I know that.
Whatever she do, I'm following right behind her.
So the biggest question is, what's the next color for the hair? Are we staying with pink?
I think we just gonna have to vibe and see.
Yeah, we just got to vibe. We always go off of vibes.
Make it as we go.
Look, there was
Every corner of Indiana felt her impact. In the lobby of her hotel, staff swapped gossip about her last-minute elevator selfie. On college campuses, professors paused lectures to stream her interviews. Even local bartenders crafted Caitlin Clark cocktails, mocktails, actually, topped with whipped cream, smiles. The city buzzed as if she dribbled a ball between two buses and thrown it through a Ferris wheel. Though the real trick was how she transformed routine appearances into headline affairs.
You doing what? Matching tattoos? Saying what?
We didn't figure it out.
We gonna
yet.
figure it
But
out.
We made a promise.
We made a promise to the chat that if we get 5K subscribers, we gonna get matching tattoos.
I think you're way past that now.
Way
huh?
past that.
Yeah, that's why we gotta get it.
Well, and everything with y'all is to be determined. It's like, what color is the hair? Well, we gonna have to see. Well, we'll be doing that. Well, we'll let y'all know.
But we have full visibility into everything.
Yeah.
What was the most lit moment of the weekend?
It's about to happen tonight.
Oh God!
Talk to him. Talk to him.
When the All-Star game finally tipped off, the arena was electric, but for reasons beyond the score. Fans were decked head to toe in her gear, chanting her name so loudly it rattled chandeliers. Some held homemade scoreboards marking minutes Caitlin didn't play as if it were the season's hottest stat. Yet the mood wasn't bitter. It was celebratory. Every chant, every cheer was a nod to her unparalleled influence. In the middle of a live broadcast, commentators paused mid-sentence to marvel at the sight of thousands on their feet, waving arms in unison, not for a three-pointer, but for pure star power. Off the court, her social media feeds exploded. Clips of her sprinkling confetti on middle schoolers, of her sketching, signing autographs on fallen hats, of her roaring sideline scream, each went viral within hours. Memes popped up, Caitlin Clark, MVP of Atmosphere. Influencers reposted her genuine video answering the two questions we started with, and millions responded. Because every shot, even off-court, is a masterpiece. Sponsors scrambled to snag moments, local businesses offered discounts to anyone wearing her jersey.
They're gonna top everything they've already done on the stream, which is just, I don't even want to think about what that could be. But y'all have made this so much fun. Like, thank y'all for sharing your talents with us and keep it going. When are we gonna do this again? Like after the season? Like
candy.
The 72-hour run. Are y'all gonna go long form?
Whenever the Grammys, ESPYs, Met Gala.
Before that, when we win this ring this year.
Yeah, that part.
Here.
That's the main part.
That's it. Thank
Y'all heard it.
Through it all, the WNBA's All-Star Weekend morphed into the Caitlin Clark experience. Ticket sales shattered records, but more importantly, it opened doors for future stars. Advertisers who once shied from women's sports took notes. Youth programs saw spikes in enrollment, girls and boys inspired by her sideline leadership, and perhaps most tellingly, older fans who drifted away from basketball rekindled their passion, drawn back by the sheer magnetism of a star transcending playtime. By the time the final buzzer sounded, on a game she never touched, the true victory was clear. Caitlin Clark had rewritten the playbook on what it means to be an athlete. She sold out an arena not with statistics, but with sincerity. Not with trophies, but with authenticity. She proved that impact isn't measured by minutes played, but by hearts won. And now, as she heals, she's already plotting her return. Not with hollow promises, but with a quiet confidence that she'll be even bigger next season.
It has been spoken into existence.
All right.
And cut.
Well, that is it from the Stud Buds. And it's been a lot of fun. But in all honesty, that has been the feeling of this entire weekend. So entertained, so many fans, everybody's having a good time. And Courtney Williams actually played in the game. Natisha did not. But going back to Skylar Diggins, triple-double, and really was...
So here we are, at the end of this wild saga, asking again, what's the hardest part about playing basketball? You'd think it's the physical grind, the endless practice, the pressure of performance. But if you're Caitlin Clark, the real challenge is staying grounded when the world spins a little faster because you're in it. The hardest part is measuring your worth when the loudest applause greets you off court. The hardest part is reminding yourself why you love the game when love comes from every direction. If you felt that energy, if you jammed your heart into every story, then you know this wasn't just a weekend, it was a cultural earthquake. And at the epicenter stood one name, Caitlin Clark.
Was probably the runner-up MVP if he didn't get it. What do you think?
She was, and that's what she set her mind to. She wanted to be MVP. She wanted to show out for her home state, and she did that. She did everything she needed to do.
Yeah.
But I want to go back, though. I want to go back to Courtney and Natisha. And as we heard the cheers on the court, pay them, pay them, there's a direct correlation between marketability and transparency and just having those parasocial relationships with your crowd to enable fandom. And the reason why people were so locked in this weekend.
But the story didn't stop when the final buzzer sounded. In the days that followed, the ripples of Caitlin Clark's All-Star takeover reached far beyond Indianapolis. Headlines shifted from sold out to sell-out success, celebrating record merchandise sales and renewed TV contracts. Fans who once watched the WNBA casually on weekends now marked every game on their calendars, proud to be part of the surge. Even teams in smaller markets saw upticks in ticket interest as listeners who caught the All-Star buzz wondered if they might glimpse Caitlin's magic in their hometown arenas. Local businesses seized the moment too. Cafes renamed smoothies Caitlin's Charge, serving drinks that matched her trademark energy. Gyms hosted Clark Clinics, where trainers broke down her shooting form and sideline drills. Phone wallpapers featuring her candid sideline poses topped the charts in app stores. It wasn't just a marketing ploy. It was proof that her influence transcended sports brackets and fanned into everyday life. In towns hundreds of miles from any court, children practiced crossover moves in living rooms and driveways, believing a future with Caitlin-like stardom was within reach.
The Stud Buds and their live stream had such a significant part of that, and so it's just, I mean, it's fun, it's funny. You get to laugh with them, but there's a serious business component with how they carry themselves online and just really are able to confidently show all of themselves.
Yeah, and you mentioned the T-shirts. All right, for those that did not see them, tell us about what they said and what do you feel like was behind that? I know we've got, first of all, Stud Bud moments here.
Yeah, no, these are dancing individuals. They've gotten.
Behind the scenes, WNBA officials quietly recalibrated their marketing strategies. Mid-season promotions began highlighting the Caitlin effect, pairing rising rookies with seasoned veterans in co-headlining events. Networks negotiated broader game packages, citing the surge in viewership fostered by her all-star presence. Even sponsors who once balked at women's sports signed new deals, from tech firms to sneaker companies. Eager to tap into the fresh demographic she attracted, the league's executives met in closed-door strategy sessions, agreeing that Caitlin's weekend had rewritten the rulebook on how to grow a franchise. On social media, the frenzy only intensified. Hashtags like Clark Carnival trended for days, showcasing fan edits of Caitlin sporting impromptu hairstyles or dribbling in unexpected settings. Memes transformed her into a cultural icon, photoshopped atop skyscrapers, drifting in space, or conducting business meetings in boardrooms. The viral nature of these posts fueled conversations in living rooms and lunchrooms alike, turning casual viewers into passionate advocates. TikTok challenges popped up, inviting users to reenact her sideline clap or mimic her signature grin. Suddenly, the WNBA had crossed into mainstream pop culture.
Close with everybody. We saw Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner, talk to them after the game and just saying that they did a great job. But as far as the CBA negotiations and pay us more, the players are going into this negotiation very differently this time. They said that they have a bottom line that they're not willing to compromise, and so...
Meanwhile, Caitlin herself embraced her new role with characteristic humility. She used the All-Star aftermath to launch a scholarship fund for underprivileged youth, pledging a portion of her merchandise royalties to cover travel expenses for kids attending elite basketball camps. She surprised recipients at family homes, handing over jerseys and letters of acceptance to their dream programs. The reactions ranged from teary hugs to stunned silence, each response reinforcing her belief that her platform meant more than personal glory. If selling out an arena was power, then empowering young dreamers was purpose.
From sales, and so they want to kind of match their NBA counterparts at 50. I think that's where they're going to be pushing for, but it's more than pay us more. It's you have to know that we're worth it, and I think that's the statement they're making. You have to know that we're worth it right now. You see a stream that players take over that 20,000 people sustain over 72 hours, and then you hear a whole packed out arena who's used to sold out arenas chanting pay them. That resonates with ownership, with the...
Her philanthropic pivot inspired other athletes across leagues. NBA stars donated game-worn sneakers to community centers in her honor. Olympians mentioned her impact during interviews, describing how her all-star aura reminded them of the universal power of sports. Even non-athletes chimed in. Musicians and actors offered to perform at charity events she organized. The initial all-star spectacle had ignited a movement of giving, reminding everyone that athletic stardom could translate into social change. Suddenly, the question wasn't only about what Caitlin could do on court, but how far she could push positive impact off it.
The commissioner, with the players, with the fans, that was palpable energy right there.
Well, and let's be honest, who mobilizes better than the WNBA?
I mean,
when it
they've
comes
been having to do it.
When it comes to the causes they believe in, because the fact that they had these T-shirts hot off the press, okay, that meeting...
They stay ready with a shirt, okay?
Right, that meeting just happened on Thursday, and they were able to organize and send a message that the entire ABC audience, those of us that were sitting in this arena, got to see and take in. So, we'll see what happens with these negotiations.
On the hardwood, the post-All-Star season took on new drama. Teams adjusted tactics to counter opponents inspired by Caitlin's All-Star dominance. Coaches emphasized bench energy and sideline leadership, borrowing from her template of vocal encouragement. Players across the league reported feeling invigorated, as if the All-Star weekend had injected a fresh shot of adrenaline into every game. Attendance numbers crept upward in subsequent home matches, as tickets snapped up faster than before. Even the lowest-seeded teams saw brief sellouts when they scheduled Caitlin's squad as opponents, proof that her influence survived beyond a single weekend. The merchandise story alone could fill volumes. Jerseys featuring her name moved off shelves faster than printers could restock. Special edition All-Star memorabilia doubled in value on resale markets. Collectors hunted for limited-run posters and commemorative pins, some reselling for hundreds of dollars. Websites crashed under the weight of demand, prompting restocks and surprise releases. It was a seller's dream come true, but Caitlin insisted on keeping prices accessible, negotiating with manufacturers to cap markups so that real fans, especially young ones, could afford a piece of history.
Poppy energy for sure.
Gassing her up.
I'm just laughing at how quickly Brittany Sykes got the do-rag on at halftime.
I did not even notice that.
Yeah,
I was so focused on the knees.
she definitely had that thing on for the halftime performance. That was great. I mean, I was not expecting that kind of energy from Glow. I hadn't seen her really move that way, so I thought that was fantastic.
You got your life, LaChina?
I did. The other part that I loved was the introductions, and I know I had talked about that previously. When they announced, oh, we got it.
Meanwhile, sports writers framed the phenomenon as a test case for athlete branding. Columns analyzed every aspect of her all-star surge, deconstructing the recipe, authenticity, accessibility, and a flair for the dramatic. Podcasters invited marketing experts to speculate on how other leagues could replicate the feat. Business schools tabled case studies on her weekend, teaching students about the intersection of sports, culture, and commerce. Even economists noted the local economic boost in Indianapolis, quantifying increased hotel stays, restaurant bookings, and tourism sparked by that single weekend. Caitlin's presence had become a textbook example of star power's return on investment. At community courts across the country, pickup games took on a new spirit. Players adopted her style: quick passes, animated celebrations, loud cheers for every basket.
I mean, we had Pitbull last year, Kehlani the year before, and Glow just took it up to the next level.
Yeah, she really did. I mean, and in fact, she left the stage and came to the middle of the court to take her place. You see some tidbits. Look at the players on the side. I mean,
Skylar
really
was not playing.
Yeah.
One thing about Skylar, she's going to be dancing on the low all the time.
And she looks like she knew the whole entire dance routine there.
No, you know who did? Brittany Sykes. Look at her.
Oh, yeah.
All the major routines, and you have her fellow Poppy Crop.
Yeah, that's Poppy
former
energy.
teammate.
So, what's next for Caitlin Clark? Will she shatter more records, headline more events, or spark even deeper change? The only certainty is that when she steps into that spotlight, she won't just play the game, she'll transform it.
Energy for sure.
Gassing her up.
I'm just laughing at how quickly Brittany Sykes got the do-rag on at halftime.
I did not even notice that.
Yeah,
I was so focused on the knees.
she definitely had that thing on for the halftime performance. That was great. I mean, I was not expecting that kind of energy from Glow. I hadn't seen her really move that way, so I thought that was fantastic.
You got your life, LaChina?
I did. The other part that I loved was the introductions, and I know I had talked about that previously. When they announced, oh, we got a guest.
If you believe Caitlin Clark's influence extends beyond the court, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into game-changing moments, and drop "Clark changed it" in the comments. Share this with someone who needs to witness how one person's presence can ignite an entire movement. Catch you courtside next time.